Real talk, family. Are you currently driving yourself into an early grave, trying to make sure everyone else is completely happy while your own life is literally burning to the ground? Are you out here sending massive paragraphs-long apology texts because you had the absolute audacity to say no to someone who wanted to borrow your car, your money, or your soul? Stop doing that to yourself right now. Pull up a chair, grab your favorite snacks, and completely throw your emotional baggage out the window, because today we are pulling off the masks. We are diving into a truth that is going to hurt, but it is going to set you entirely free. The dark truth of being too nice and why it invites abuse. Now look, let's keep it 100% from the absolute jump. Society loves to tell you that being a complete doormat is a holy virtue. They look at a person who never stands up for themselves, and they say, in a high-pitched, whiny, mocking voice, "Oh, look at Sarah. She's such a sweet girl. She's so nice. She never gets mad at anyone." No, stop right there. Let's set the record straight in this episode today. Half the time, when you think you're being too nice, you aren't actually being holy. You are just completely terrified of conflict. Your niceness isn't a superpower. It is a survival strategy that you're using because you don't know how to look someone in the eye and set a boundary. And today, we are bringing in our favorite Swiss psychological giant, the ultimate king of deep human vibes, Carl Jung, to explain exactly why being an agreeable pushover is a massive invitation for every narcissist, user, and psychological vampire in a 10-mile radius to come and feast on your energy. If you're watching this right now from your room, realizing that you've been letting people walk all over you with muddy boots, smash that like button, drop a no emoji or a shield emoji in the comment right now to show you're ready to build some real armor. And shout out to the day ones already lighting up the super chats and sending those gifts. You guys keep this channel completely independent and the vibes immaculate. Let's jump straight into our very first pillar. Let's put the cards on the table. Why do we stay too nice even when it is physically draining our bank accounts and our mental health? It's because we are addicted to a massive psychological coping mechanism. Carl Jung called this the persona. The persona is the literal mask you wear to make sure society likes you, accepts you, and doesn't reject you. When you play the character of the perfectly nice person, you think you're being a saint. But let's be entirely real on this show today. Extreme niceness is often a hidden contract. You are unconsciously telling the world, "Look how nice I am to you. Look how I never talk back. Look how I always help you move your couch at 6 a.m. on a Sunday." Now, in exchange, you are legally required to love me, validate me, and never leave me. Except the world doesn't work that way. When you deal with normal, healthy people, they appreciate your kindness. But when you deal with users and manipulators, they don't look at your niceness and think, "Oh, what a lovely soul, let me protect them." No. They look at you and think, "Oh, perfect, free real estate, free labor, someone I can treat like garbage who will actually apologize to me for it." Carl Jung had this incredible quote that will make you want to reevaluate your entire friend group. He basically said that if you do not understand why a person did something, look at the outcome of their actions and deduce the motive. If the outcome of your constant niceness is that you are constantly exhausted, resentful, and surrounded by parasites, then guess what? Your niceness is working against you. It is a faulty strategy. Think about the psychological math here. If you give 100% of your energy to a friend who only gives back 0%, you aren't being altruistic. You are funding your own emotional bankruptcy. You think you are keeping the peace, but you aren't protecting the peace. You are just delaying a war that you need to fight for your own survival. Let's see it in the comments right now. Drop a truth in the comments if you've ever stayed quiet just to keep someone happy, only to find out they were talking trash behind your back anyway. Let me see those comments. It's time to stop funding people who are actively plotting your bankruptcy, which brings us perfectly to our next major heading. Now, let's get into the deep, dark Jungian psychology that they don't teach you in school. Jung talked about a part of your mind called the shadow. The shadow is the warehouse in your brain where you throw everything you think is bad, ugly, or unacceptable. For a too nice person, you throw your anger, your aggression, your selfishness, and your ability to say no straight into the shadow. You pretend those things don't exist. You put on your shiny smile mask and pretend you are an angel. But here is the catch. A human being without access to their shadow is a human being without teeth. You are functionally harmless. And in the real world, being harmless is not a virtue. If a rabbit stays peaceful because it cannot fight a wolf, that rabbit isn't virtuous. It's just a snack. True virtue is when you have a massive, dangerous monster inside your shadow, but you have it under absolute voluntary control. When you completely suppress your anger, it doesn't just vanish. It rots inside your shadow and turns into resentment. It turns into passive-aggressive comments. It turns into depression. You become resentful of the very people you are helping. You sit there doing favors for people while secretly seething inside, thinking, why does nobody ever do this for me? You are poisoning your own well because you are too afraid to let your shadow speak up. Carl Jung explicitly warned us that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. If you don't integrate your shadow, if you don't learn how to access your own healthy aggression, you will naturally attract aggressive people who will play that shadow out for you. You will keep landing in toxic relationships. You will keep getting micromanaged by nightmare bosses, and you'll keep saying, why does this always happen to me? I guess I'm just cursed. No, you aren't cursed, family. You are just walking around with a giant sign on your back that says, please exploit me, I won't fight back. Let's do a quick poll in the comments right now. Type 1 if you are a recovering people-pleaser who is finally learning how to grow some teeth. Type 2 if you are still stuck in the trap of saying yes when your soul is screaming no. Be honest, we are fixing this live together. Let's talk about the absolute magnetic attraction between a too nice person and a psychological vampire. It is a match made in a very dark place. Manipulative individuals, whether they are full-blown narcissists, lazy opportunists, or just emotional mooches, have a highly developed radar. They can spot a people-pleaser across a crowded room. They don't look for weak people. They look for generous people who lack boundaries. There is a massive difference. They want someone who has a huge heart, a lot of empathy, but absolutely zero security at the front gate. In the beginning, they will love bomb you. They will say, in a fake dramatic voice, oh my God, you are the most understanding person I have ever met. Everyone else in my life is so mean to me, but you truly get me. Run! That is a giant red flag. What they are actually saying is, everyone else set boundaries and kicked me out of their life, but you look like you have an open-door policy for abuse. Once they are inside your life, the exploitation begins in tiny microdoses. They test your boundaries. They show up an hour late without apologizing. They ask for a small favor that inconveniences you, just to see if you'll speak up. If you stay silent and say, oh, it's totally fine, don't worry about it, boom, you just passed their test. You just signaled to their subconscious that your time, your feelings, and your comfort do not matter. Carl Jung noted that the healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Manipulators are running a projection of their own internal chaos. If you do not have a strong, integrated shadow to stand up and say, stop right there, that boundary is non-negotiable, they will keep pushing until they take everything you have. They will drain your bank account, drain your emotional energy, and the moment you are completely empty, they will discard you and blame you for not being happy enough. Wow, look at that. Huge shout out to David for the massive super chat donation. David says, I spent 3 years funding my ex's business while she treated me like an assistant. The day I asked for rent money, she called me selfish and left. Your video is giving me my brain back. David, thank you for the love, man. Let's get some crown emojis in the comment for David. He didn't lose an ex. He just stopped paying subscription fees for psychological warfare. That is how we reclaim our value. Now, let's explore a major mistake that nice people make. They think they are teaching others how to be kind by giving them endless chances. You think, if I just keep forgiving them, if I just keep being patient, they will eventually see my goodness and copy it. No, you aren't teaching them kindness. You are literally training them to treat you like a broken vending machine. Think about it like this. If you walk up to a vending machine, put 0 coins inside, hit the button, and a cold soda drops out every single time, are you going to respect the machine? Are you going to say, oh, what a generous and noble piece of equipment? No, you're going to look at it like a free resource that you can exploit whenever you are thirsty. You will keep pressing that button until the machine is completely empty. And what happens on the one day you press the button and a free soda doesn't come out because the machine has run dry? You won't say, oh, thank you, machine, for the 30 free sodas you gave me last month. I am so grateful. No, you're going to kick the machine, swear at it, shake it violently, and call it garbage because your free supply got cut off. That is exactly how an ungrateful user treats your kindness. They don't view your generosity as a sacrifice. They view it as the new baseline. They feel entitled to your energy, your time, and your peace. They look at you and think, well, they always say yes, so their time must not be worth very much anyway. The moment you finally stand up, dust yourself off and say, no, I can't help you this time, they will completely flip the script. They will treat your healthy boundary like an act of betrayal. They will call you selfish, ungrateful, and toxic because you dared to turn off the free faucet. Stop letting people treat you like a machine and then kick you when you run out of fuel. Let's take this conversation to a deeper, more lively level. Jung talked a lot about alchemy, taking heavy, useless lead and heating it up until it transforms into pure, brilliant gold. When you are too nice, your energy is like unpolished lead. Anyone can step on it, scratch it, or mold it into whatever shape they want. To transform that lead into gold, you have to introduce a very specific element, the fire of the boundary. Setting a boundary is not about being a mean person. It is not about throwing tantrums, screaming, or being toxic. A true high-value boundary is quiet, it is calm, and it is absolute. It sounds like this: no, I won't be able to do that. Notice that there is no 3-page essay explaining why you can't do it. There is no apology for having a life. It is just a straight, high-contrast, clean no. When you start doing this, the people who were using you will get absolutely furious. Let's be ready for it. They will start calling you selfish, cold, or changed. They will tell mutual friends, in a gossiping voice, oh, ever since they started watching those psychology videos, they think they're better than everyone else. They are so ungrateful. Do not panic when this happens. This is actually the alchemy working. Their anger is the literal proof that your boundary is working. In fact, write this down in your mind right now. The only people who get upset when you set boundaries are the ones who were directly benefiting from you having none. Play that again. If a person truly loves you and respects you, and you tell them, hey, I'm too tired to go out tonight, I need some space, they will say, I completely understand, go get some rest, I love you. But if they are a parasite, they will say, wow, so you're just going to leave me hanging? after everything I've done for you. By setting boundaries, you are performing a beautiful social clearance sale. You are forcing the trash to take itself out. You don't even have to do the heavy lifting. Their own ego will make them walk away the moment they realize they can no longer exploit you for free. So, how do we actually fix this without turning into a bitter, angry jerk who hates the entire world? Because that's the danger. A lot of people go from being completely too nice to being a completely toxic villain because they don't know how to balance their energy. They go from one extreme to the other. Carl Jung's solution was simple but profound. You must integrate your monster. Integrating your monster means you acknowledge that you have the capacity to be dangerous, you have the capacity to be selfish, and you have the capacity to walk away and never look back. You don't use your monster to hurt innocent people. You keep it on a very strong leather leash. But when someone approaches your life with malicious intent, you let that monster growl just enough so they know exactly what time it is. Here is your 3-step actionable guide to integrate your monster life this week. 1. Stop apologizing for existing. The next time you have to decline an invitation, do not say, "Oh my God, I'm so incredibly sorry. I have this thing and my dog is sick and my schedule is crazy." Stop. Just say, "I can't make it this time, but I hope you guys have an amazing time." Keep it clean. Keep your high status. 2. Practice the 5-second delay. When someone asks you for a favor that you don't want to do not answer immediately. Insecure people feel forced to say yes within 1 second because they can't handle the tension. Take a deep breath. Count to 5 in your head. Let the silence get a little awkward. Then deliver your answer. That delay signals that you are the master of your own time. 3. Embrace being the villain in their story. Accept right now that you cannot control how toxic people describe you to others. If you stop letting them use you, they will describe you as a villain. Let them. Wear that villain cape with absolute pride. It means you are finally doing something right for your own survival. Remember, your life battery is finite. You only have a certain amount of ticks on the clock every single day. Stop spending your premium energy trying to purchase the approval of people who wouldn't even show up to your funeral if it was raining slightly outside. Family, look at the screen. Your peace is an absolute luxury item. It is not a discount store where anyone can walk in and steal the inventory without a receipt. If someone does not bring mutual respect, genuine safety, and clean, uplifting vibes into your personal space, they do not get past the bouncer. I don't care if they are a childhood best friend, a co-worker, or a partner. You are the sole guardian of your psychological house. I want to challenge every single high-value person watching this faceless broadcast right now. Flood the comment section and type, "My kindness is not a weakness," if you are choosing to grow some teeth today and protect your sanctuary. Let's fill the entire screen with that boundary. Let the algorithm see that we are building an army of self-respecting individuals. If this video brought a smile to your face, gave you a real laugh, or gave you the validation you needed to stop feeling guilty for finally standing up for yourself, please hit that subscribe button. Share this broadcast with a sweet friend who is currently being drained by a toxic partner or family member. And hey, if you want to keep this channel running and fuel the production of these deep human vibe breakdowns, those super thanks and gifts are always deeply appreciated by your host. Integrate your shadow, keep your monster on a leash, and never apologize for protecting your energy penthouse. I love you guys to pieces. Have an amazing, peaceful, boundary-filled week, and I will see you all in the next episode.